everyone. I'm Nodar Janashia, and this is Sahil. We're from DeFi SAP. We're going to talk a little bit about some zaps. So first, let's start by taking a look at the current state of DeFi. DeFi is difficult to use. It takes several transactions to get to certain endpoints in DeFi, which to me personally is a pet peeve. So like when I know I need to get to a certain endpoint and I have like 3 transactions lined up, I have to wait for one to finish in order to initiate the next one. So I think because of this, some true composability has been largely unexplored in our space. So what is DeFiZap? DeFiZap helps you deploy capital to interesting opportunities in DeFi in one click, abstracting a lot of the transactions that go on the back. So for users, it's fast to use, it saves you time, it's easy for you to grasp the concepts. For builders, it's really simple to integrate, and they're not adding on an extra layer of smart contract security risk. So when you're using DeFiZap, you're minting the same exact liquidity provision tokens or leverage tracking position tokens. It's the same thing as you using the underlying platforms manually by yourself. So where did DeFiZap come from? Just a quick history about us. So I started myself making DeFi tutorials back in the summer. Like DeFiZap was never an end goal for me. I never like, I'm gonna start DeFiZap when I started making DeFi tutorials. Like DeFiZap was born and raised from user feedback. So based on that feedback, I hacked up DeFi strategies, which was like using no-code tools. It was like an educational trading simulator, which helped users see what kind of returns they would get on certain positions in DeFi. So it's kind of like test driving these products without actually putting real money behind it. And from there, we had a survey which basically told us, everything was pointing to building DeFiZap. So on October 8th, I just reached out in Kyber's Discord channel looking for help. They had a virtual hackathon going on, so it was a perfect opportunity to get started. Within 20 days, we had our first Zap deployed on the mainnet, and we ended up winning the virtual hackathon from Kyber, which obviously gave us a push to keep building. So December 9th, we had a beta launch where we introduced a lot more zaps, specifically around pooling opportunities on Uniswap. It's one of the things we saw our users having a hard time doing. So in order to provide liquidity on Uniswap, you need to come in with 2 tokens, and we basically abstract a lot of the calculations that go in the background. So far we had 8,500 ETH deployed into DeFi through Zaps via around 1,600 Zaps, saving end users around 165 hours. So these are some cool starting points for DeFiZap. So how it works, at first you start out by answering a few simple multiple choice questions. This helps you filter out some of the zaps we have available, because we realize launching more and more zaps now, if you go on the Explore All Zaps page, there's a lot of zaps there, so it's getting hard to filter them. So this survey helps you kind of filter the top 3 ones that you might find useful based on your investment profile. So once you go through the survey and you're pointed to a zap, for example, this Chai Unipool one, all you have to do is input how much ETH you'd like to add in liquidity. And basically, as you can see here, what DeFiZap does in the background, specifically for this Chai pool, is pretty cool. Eliminates 4 on-chain transactions. So going from ETH, the first thing we do is we convert half of your ETH to DAI, And we're not doing it directly to Chai because you would experience pretty big slippage if you were doing it directly within the Uniswap pool. So after getting DAI, we wrap it into Chai using their smart contracts, and finally add the liquidity of the Chai and the leftover ETH into the pool. So as an end result, you are getting Chai pool liquidity tracking tokens back to your wallet. So today we released a new thing. It's general Unipool Zap. So right now, all the Unipool Zaps we've had available, it was all based on basically it was limited to the options we had available on our website. With this general Unipool, you are able to get into any pool that's available on Uniswap in one click. So it's kind of like providing this layer for builders to start initiating these one-click entry points into pools through this general Unipool contract. And now Sahil is going to talk a little bit about how you actually integrate.
So my name is Suhail. I'm an engineer at DeFiZap, and I'm just going to talk briefly about how you would integrate our contracts into your DApp. It's really easy. Basically, all you need is the address and the ABI. We have the addresses available there as well as the ABIs. This is available on our GitHub page, and you can go to this website. You can download the ABI and the address. And the way you'd actually implement it for developers anyway is to use Web3.js or Ethers.js. And basically what you have to do is instantiate our contract. This part here is the meat and potatoes though. I'm using the Seth address here. This is for the Seth Unipool, but we could actually use any Uniswap address. So for example, if you had a So for example, if you have a personal token on Uniswap and you'd like to add liquidity, or you'd like your friends to add liquidity, you can just substitute this address with whatever you want, as long as it's available on Uniswap. But this code snippet basically summarizes how you would implement DeFiZap into your own application. You can use our general contract, our general Unipool contract, which is this contract here. It's called the Unipool General. And that'll let you get into any Uniswap pool at all. We also have general contracts for removing liquidity from those pools, and also for entering what we call leveraged positions, leveraged liquidity positions, which adds liquidity to Uniswap and then goes 2x long on Ethereum. So these are all general contracts. You can use these with any token as long as it's available on Uniswap. And actually for this contract here, you can leverage long for any token that's available on Fulcrum. So that's, I believe, Chainlink, KNC, all those tokens. The only thing you'll need to do is to substitute the addressing here. So if you were to implement this today, you could copy and paste this code as long as you have an address for the user right here. And this can be any address, so it could be some other user's address, it could be the current user's address, it could be a random address if you really feel generous. So substitute the Seth address, put in their address, send off the transaction, and then your UI, your front end or your back end or whatever, can handle the events that occur afterwards, like potential rejections or successful transactions. But I'm more than happy to whip up an API for you guys if you need an HTTP API. So we have some integrations right now through Seb at DeFi Snap, who asked us to whip up a quick API for him for specific information he needed about some of these pools. And we were able to do that for him. So if you have any projects that you're interested in integrating and you need more help, or you need some custom contract work done, or you need a custom API, just join us on Discord. My name's @Cryptonomic, and I'd be happy to help you with whatever you need.
Yeah, now I'm just going to talk a little bit about the people who have already integrated us. So it includes some UI solutions like Pools.fyi, DeFi Snap, Frontier Wallet, who actually launched a native native mobile Zap support today. I earned that finance. If you guys haven't heard about this, it's a really cool tool. Basically, what we've built for I Earn Finance is like a floor for a pool aggregator. So this product is using Zaps in the background to rebalance your positions from pool to pool, finding the best yield. And there's a couple of other solutions that we are working with currently. Especially excited about things like adding additional pooling opportunities into Zaps. So right now you can only get into pools on Uniswap, but there's a couple of other products that are launching with a similar model for automated market making, specifically Balancer, Curve, and Cowrie. So what you can build with DeFiZap today, first of all, you can create Venmo-like experiences. So each Zap has an ENS registered under it. So you could literally become, say, a liquidity provider in the Seth pool by depositing ETH directly to Seth unipool.defizap.eth. And what you're going to get back are those liquidity tracking tokens. And you could do this, you could set up an ENS for any pool. So with this general unipool contract, you can think, maybe you're going to list a token on Uniswap, maybe your personal token that you want to encourage adding liquidity to. So what you could do is you could create an ENS then for your own pool that you're going to launch on Uniswap and essentially provide this easy onboarding for new users. Pool bridging is something we're pretty excited about. So right now, we have zap ins, zap outs. So if you want to switch pools, what you'll need to do is, zap in first, then zap out, and then zap into a different pool. So if you're always staying in ETH, that's easy. But when you're removing liquidity from Uniswap, you're also getting back the same way 2 different tokens. So you need to reshuffle them for the next pool. And we'll allow you to do that. You could build something that allows you to do that in one click, of course. And then pool bridging doesn't have to stay within Uniswap. You could switch a pool into Balancer pool or into Curve pool. Other ones I'm pretty excited about would be like insured zaps. So what you could do is provide, so you essentially think of it as buying prepaid insurance from Nexus and then selling it in pieces through zaps to the end user. So they just check off a mark that says, hey, I want all the underlying contracts that the Zap is going to touch covered by Nexus Mutual, sorry. Yeah, I guess I'll just take some questions if you guys have any.
Any questions?
And yeah, like Sahil said, if you guys have any problems or additional questions, you could always reach us on our Discord. We're always there. So yeah. Thank you, everyone.